How are we, YouTubers? We well? Let's have a little bit of a chat, right, about Victoria. Right, namely you, Jacinta, right? What are you going to do? Have a listen to this, right? Have a listen to this, right? You know, good person you are. No good. You're no good, mate. People are dying. People are going to bed shaken, terrified. It's under your watch.
A feeling
Yeah.
of being safe in your own home has been ripped away from her family. Intruders breaking in not once or twice, but 5 times since Easter.
We don't know what else we can do. It's just living in fear.
Living on edge.
Look at that. Now let me just say this, right? Okay. Why? I know I'm just going to say it, right? Why are you bringing in the Sudanese? Why are you bringing in people that will not conform? The Indians, right? There's some good ones in everything. Yep, I give it that, right? But there is less good ones in those two. Far less. For starters, the Indians, they lie. They're liars. Okay, they lie. Okay. Sudanese, they won't work. You're paying money to come here. Don't you feel like you're a turncoat, a hypocrite? How can you sit in that chair and say that you respect the flag and you respect this and you respect that? Our forefathers, mate, right? They fought for that flag. They fought for good, yeah, right? And as for everyone out there, the support that's rallied around the Palestinians, my God, mate, you all need to go to the library and get a book and look at history. Do you know what you're doing? Calling a chain to a Jew baby killer. What baby killer? Hang on. The baby killer is what? Because on that day when they stormed Israel, right, they killed 1,600 people. They stabbed babies in their bassinets. This is in present day. Right? Did we all forget about the hostage exchange? You know, when Hamas, you know, they had a neutral ground. And they gave so many hostages. They give back 12 hostages, but they want roughly around about 300, right, incarcerated people in the Israeli jails handed over. So that's equal, isn't it? 12 hostages, 300 people out of jail to them. Right. But they did this, though. This one particular one. It was quite bad. Right. They handed all the hostages over, and there was the last 3. A mother and their 2 daughters. There's a husband on the other side. That's the neutral ground point. Right? The Hamas bloke, he goes over there, he gets her, he walks her to the neutral line. Right before the neutral line, he pulls out his gun and he shoots the mother in the head and the 2 daughters in front of their father, in front of the Israeli president. What do you think, and you people, what do you think he would do? I can tell you what I'd do. If I was Netanyahu, you know what I'd do? I'd go, get back. Come back. Enough. I would go back and I would level it. I would level it. You know, it's one thing to kill someone, right? Okay? But when it comes to the Middle Eastern people, they don't just kill. They torture. They torture. Right? You know, you all understand what happened over in that war, right? I think when war became savage, real heartless, was the Vietnam War, right? That's when, you know, they weren't fighting normal. They weren't fighting men in uniforms. That was the first, right? Because every other war, each side had a uniform. They knew who their enemy was, right? We're fighting people now that don't wear uniforms. They look like us. They try and blend in like us, right? And you want to stand up with those people and say that they're real people? No, they're gutless people. When they go around and they causing havoc, right? Okay, causing havoc and shit, right? They're not wearing their Palestinian stuff then, are they? No, they look like a normal Joe Blow. No. Did we forget about the 2 nurses in Sydney, what they said? We kill a Jew when they come here. There's they're working in our medical. We are so overloaded with multiculturalism everywhere, in every facet. You know, a taxi can drive all the way up to Parliament House front door, and it's a bomb. It runs on gas. But I can't. I've been here 54 years. I'll try and get my car up to the front doors. Forget it, mate. But you'll let a taxi drive up there. Spastics, mate. You know who the AFP, you know when you see the AFP cars driving around, right? Okay? You know what they're doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. Right? Do you know how they look at who they follow the most? Taxi drivers. Why is that? Because they're all immigrants. Best way to get around, undetected, isn't it? Hey? How do you reckon they got their shit around? Taxis. Now they've got Ubers. Now they're outmanned. Hey? Oh, mate, I'll tell you. Right? So, getting back to when war got savage, the Vietnam War, you know? Soldiers are falling in traps, and there's feces on the end of the stick. And stuff like that. That wasn't done in wars before. Then came Iraq, and the Desert Storm in Iraq, and savage that is. You know, they used to say, they said this to the soldiers, you know, and that if you ever get caught, just be prepared. You're going to get raped. They get raped. These you know, these Afghanis, you know, Afghans, and that they rape them. These people haven't washed for weeks. They're hardened people, mate. You know, one thing was said is if you ever go hand to hand with one of them, right? Okay, don't go near their legs. Their legs are their strongest point. They're walking around on them, up and down those rocks. Their feet, they're so built up. They're like iron. Just they look like a shark. Their skin, they'll rip you apart. They're strong with their legs. They walk everywhere. Right, and we're supposed to bow to these people. What have they done? Have you seen their country? What have they evolved to? Hey, what have they evolved to? Look at Lebanon. Look at Lebanon, right? Okay, you know the main of Lebanon. There's one electrical pole, 13,000 wires hanging off it. That's really evolved, isn't it? Hey, Beirut, you know, have a look at it. It's a joke. Fucking Christ, you people, mate. You're sticking up for people that haven't evolved. They don't want to evolve, but they want to come and ruin us. Right? What for? We let them in here. You know? Remember this. Right? There's Australians tonight. Babies. Children. People working full time. Right? Hopping in a tent. Or in their car. Because they can't get housing. They're outpriced. The rent's stupid. Rent? Stupid. I had friends paying $850 a week for a place in Croydon Hills. It's just a normal place. You fucking spastics. I've always said this, right? If you buy a house, right, and you rent it out, your money isn't in the rent. Your money is in the property, right? And it will go up. But if you are going to try and do it for the rent, you're an arsehole. You're a heartless. Right? The only time that money becomes profit is if you die and you leave it to your son or your daughter. Then they get double banging. Right? Right? They get the rent and then they've got the value of the property and they didn't have to shell out for it. Why does rent have to be that much? Eh? Why? And in our government, how are we all now knowing that Jacinta Allen gave an immigrant woman who's never worked in her life, she's come here, her family aren't funding her, nothing like that, and Jacinta gave her a brand new apartment, so close to her grandkids. You know, Moi, her name was. What the fuck is Moi? You know, mate, and I'll say it. Have a look at this. You tell me, right? Watch this, okay? Let's watch this. This is what's going on.
Families in the grip.
He's white. He's white.
Crisis.
You can see that. But you can tell by the way they walk.
Disappointed.
The sun's about to set on another day in Melbourne, and as night falls, residents here in the Bayside suburbs, but also from all over the metro area, are wondering if tonight it'll be their house broken into, their cars stolen, or worse, their families attacked.
Look, they're black.
It's really scary to know that while
You can tell. Look at that, see? You can tell the way they walk. You don't even need to look at them.
We have young kids.
Look at this.
They get up in the middle of the night, they go from our bed back to their beds. Like, they can easily run into one of these intruders.
The Gare family's been targeted 5 times since Easter.
5 times, Jacinta.
After their family
Have a look at them.
cars.
They don't give a fuck.
Woke up and had fairly
Now, he says something here. You know what he says? You know what he says? I'll tell you what he says. What's it take for someone to get killed? How many people, Jacinta, how many people have been killed? Hey? We had the young doctor in Templestowe, he got killed, and then we've had 3 people get killed, right? And we can't defend ourselves in our own homes. Yeah? Bullshit, mate. Bullshit. Here, to all these people who might see my video, right? You might think I'm a bit of a nutter. I don't really care, right? But this is what you do, okay? You've all got to go back to the 80s, because what was around in the 80s? Every second house had a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, or a Doberman in it. Get rid of your fluffy little dogs, okay? Right? Okay? And get a big dog. These kids are breaking into houses with little dogs. They don't care. Little dog, it'll warn you. You want something big. Something that is going to grab that black ass, right? And bruise his little white bone, right? Maybe rip his arm off, okay? And then when you get there, see this? Make it up. Get a lathe. See? Alright, get a lathe. Alright? I've drilled it out. And I'll put some lead in there. Yeah? Right? Okay? Right? And you get and that so it's heavy on the end. Nice and quick with the handle. Look, see? Quick with the handle, right? And just smash them. Just smash them across the head. Someone comes into your home, all you got to say is this: I feared for my life and my family. They can't measure that in court. All right? And why wouldn't you? When you got your kids and your wife in there. What you're supposed to be thinking? Anyone who's not in your house, other than you, and you wake up and you see him, kill him. Instantly. All right? Get dogs though. All right? For you people who want these nice little fluffy dogs to be nice around. You know, my daughter was brought up with 3 Rottweilers. Not one bitter. I've got Oscar out there, right? He's a Marama. He's a bit annoying because he barks a lot. That's their breed. But if you really want to get something that's absolutely going to pull someone down on their own and will go like hammer and leather, without a doubt, all right? These dogs. A Bauble, right? A Connie Corso, a Marama, and the king of them all, which is what I want to get, right? A Halabai. Central Asian Shepherd, right? Males weigh in at 220 pounds. They've got an extra vertebrae, so they're extra long in the hind quarter. They're an extra long dog, right? Their head is here. Have a look at them. Right, Putin's got one. They use them in the jail cells. They are the dog supremo. And it will kill you. Okay? If you want an insane dog, and all these dogs, mind you, if you are not part of the family, when you come over, the people who own these dogs, you need to put the dog away. Because it'll be watching those people. So for safety reasons, responsible ownership, put the dog away. Unless they come over all the time. They live there basically. Like Oscar. He will look after everyone. And then once he'll look after us. Right? Because we're part of his flock. Right? That's how these dogs are. They're masterless dogs. They know what they're doing. Their bloodlines are over 7,000 to 8,000 years old. Okay? They've evolved without us. Okay? They don't rip each other apart. Right? Okay? But get back. Get these big dogs. Let your kids run around outside. The problem is you're having kids now that have got allergies. How the fuck do you have a kid with an allergy that hasn't even tasted air yet? Right? Okay? So you prissy women, you got to start eating your cheeses, having your seafood. It's called moderation. Okay? Right? Okay? Let your kid get dirty. Okay? Let him get dirty. That's how they build up their immune system. All right? Okay? And that, when it comes to your home, you wreck them. And you say, I feared for my safety, my life, and my family's life. Simple. It's easy. Do it. No guilt. Fuck them. They shouldn't be here anyway. And Jacinta, you really want to send a message about this shit? Want to stop it? You want to know how to stop it? I'll tell you how to stop it. The next one tonight. Yeah? Get him. Underage, is he? Oh, okay. Oh, he's been in trouble with the police before, has he? Oh, no worries, okay. Oh, quite a bit. Yeah, okay. Right. You know what you do? Mother, father, sister, brother, the whole lot of them. Piss off. Piss off. Deport him. Don't charge him. Deport him. Because that's what Trump did. When Trump was in the first time, the reason why he dumped all the Mexicans back is because he did this. He didn't charge them. They came in, don't charge them, because then their country can refuse to have them because they're now a criminal. He didn't charge them. They're going back home. Clean slates. If he charged any of them, they wouldn't be able to go back. And that's what he's doing again. So don't charge them. Right? And that's for you High Court judges with our detainees. Right? Okay? What are we supposed to do with them? Because that worked, didn't it? Hey? Well, you told us to let them go. And what happened? They went out and they raped and they damaged people, they wrecked people, elderly women, the whole lot. Yeah? Right? Enough. This is Australia, okay? We're watching shit that should never be here. People hacked in the street. That's what we're watching now. It's happening. It's happening. Okay? The Vic Market looks like a squalor's. The Vic Market never had $2 shop shit in it. Handmade stuff. It was written veg. The wogs, the Greeks, you know, it's all there, beautiful. You know, now, shit. Shit. Right? And everyone, you know what? I'll always stop and help. Right? I don't care what colour you are, what race you are. If you're in need of help, you know, I'll help. Because you can see within a second who needs help. Right? Okay? But, Jacinta, you are piss weak. You and your fucking boyfriend, Andrews, right? They've wrecked the state. You've wrecked it. Labor would have to be the most stupidest money spending. I mean, have a look at Labor, yeah? Right? Okay, you with the union, yeah? That's how you get into it, right? Right, so you just let Sedgar, Sedgar's supposed to be the man, yeah? I mean, if you're the president of the CFMEU, that's a pretty big thing, isn't it? Yeah? Right? It is. You're the leader. They look up to you. You're the strong man. You're like the sergeant of arms in a bikie gang, aren't you? Yeah? Oh, he's real good, isn't he? 6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, he gets a phone call from Channel 9. A young kid who said to him, oh, I've been investigating you for the past 3 months, blah, 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 blah. He shits himself, right? Runs out, resigns, a whole lot, runs out of the place. Now he wants to keep carrying on about PTSD, that he's getting death threats. Jesus Christ, mate. Fucking hell. Hey? Fucking pathetic, mate. You're a man over here, but then over here you're not. You don't want to do it. You speak big over there. You know what? You're a beer man. Yeah? I used to have a joke for you blokes like that. You're tough with a beer, hey? Tough while you got one in your hand. Tough because you got your mate having a beer with you, and you're feeling tough because one's in already. Yeah, there, hey? They're tough. Yeah? Well, how about this, you dickheads? Why don't you scratch your heads a little bit harder, yeah? Let me tell you something, right, okay? In my time with security, and I learnt this from the other guys older than me, right? You know what? We were fit. We were quicker. We watched more, looked more, listened harder, understood, paid attention, the whole fucking lot. Okay? And when you come along, you reckon we didn't see you coming? We saw you coming 2 hours ago, you pricks. Right? And that. I went to the gym, not for you, believe me, not for you. Okay? Because if I went to the gym for you blokes, I wouldn't have been able to complete the gym. You know why? Because I would have pissed my pants laughing with the men that I've had to put hands on. Fucking men. You're fucking weak as piss. And that, right? Okay? But no, that's what's happened though. The narrative's dropped. And the fireys have dropped off. The police have dropped off. They don't do their training courses now. Have a look at them. You know? You need fit, hard people. Right? if you are going to do a frontline job, you need to be stronger, quicker, every which way than the normal man. All right? You're forgetting that. This is what I said once before. I said it just recently. Right? Little Johnny, you can be anything you want in this world. And you can. And people can. You know why? If they put the effort in. And that's what we were told when we were growing up. And that was told for eons before then. If you work hard and you do this and that's what you really want, it'll come. If you've got to put the effort in, you have to put it in. No one else, you. Somewhere along the line, right, people just said, you can be anything you want. Did you hear that? No. If you put the hard work in. No, they didn't say that now. You can just be it. And what will happen? We had kids going to school as Furbies. I want to be a Furby. I want to be this. I want to be that. Oh, my God. Right? It's just like... So, you're going to be... You people, I understand, right? You feel fear? If you've got a house, whatever, scratch your ass, scratch your head, sit down for a minute and go, what can we do? A video camera, I was told, is only ever going to do this. It'll film your death. Okay? That's how it was told to me. Right? That's how blunt it is. It will film your death. It's not going to jump off the wall and save you. No. Not going to do that. Don't do it. Okay? And if it's on, if the Action Jackson's on, you know what you do? Ring 000. Right? Drop your phone under the bed, leave it on. Don't waste your time talking to the operator if it's on. Okay? They have to go through their spiel. They have to go through it. Okay? They have to ask, because they've got weapons, even though one's already been put in you, right? And all this stupid stuff, they have to ask it. It's the way it is, okay? Here, anyway, right? But just if you want the response, you just scream, help, I need help, help, and push the phone away under the bed so no one can get to it and they can lock in on it. And they can. Easy peasy. It's not hard. Right? All right? And you get one of these. Invest in one of these. It doesn't make it. You make them. It's not illegal. Right, you make a piece of little baton, yeah? That's me mates, anyway. That is, that's his baseball bat, yeah. He's 3'4", right? You want to see his glove? Here, I'll show you his glove, right? That's his glove, because it's big hands, it's got big hands, yeah? Right, big hands, right? So yeah, hey? But as one thing, guys, people, you need to understand this, right? You need to know your house. You need to know how to set it up. To know where to get them. Yeah? Okay? Because anyone broke in here to my place. Right? See, I have this. Right? I have this. I have a gate there. Right there. See? Gate there. So you run down the side, but you're going to run into that. And you're going to run into that hard. Right? And then I've got this. I've got this big thing here. All the way up there. Now, not many people can get out of that. Yeah? So you get in here, right? Okay? You think you're going to get out? Nah, I'll tell you. You'll be brought in here, right? And dealt with. And then, at the back, right? Because I've got the main sewer line, okay? Yeah? The main sewer, I've got the opening to it. It's in my yard. Yeah? Where do you think your bones and shit are going to go? Who knows you're here anyway? Just you. Only you. Remember that, you dickheads. And remember that, you homeowners, how many people know that they're in your house? Just them. Okay? If you want to get smart, tell your missus, listen honey, little Sally's going to have to get used to a big dog, okay? And let me tell you anyway, if you go to the Rural Children's Hospital and you ask them, what are the most dog attacks, what dogs are doing the most damage to children, right? Do you know what it is? I'll tell you. Little dogs. It's little dogs. Because they're at the same height as a child, right? Okay? And straight to the face. Right? They're in line with it. It's little dogs. I'm not saying big dogs haven't done, but it's mainly little dogs. They outnumber bites and they're bad. Because they're babies, right? Okay? So, get a dog. Get a mate that's only 4'3" or 3'4", right? with a big hand. Okay? All right? And know your house. All right? Because only you know they're there. All right? Go get a pie. And Jacinta, can you resign, please? Just resign. We need to get things turned around. Okay? You've had your fun. You and Andrews. Yeah? You've had your sex swinging parties and everything else like that. Him wearing suspenders and stuff like that. You know? You wear the strap on. Right? Okay? So, can you piss off now? And let's just get this place running right. Looking after the elderly. You know? The flag. Understanding. Bring back our roots. Okay? Gum trees grow here. Not tea trees. Right? Alright? Bushwhacking. Bloody African bush. Gum trees, mate. Gum trees. Yeah? Right. Go get a pie.